Research and Education Sustainability Post-COVID-19 in Asian Context. Let's give a round of applause for the ICES 2021. This event is held for 2 days, November 17 to 18, 2021, organized and hosted by Teacher Training and Education Faculty of Universitas Kristen Indonesia in partnership with Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia and co-organized by Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta and Universitas Prima Indonesia. With me, Angela, as the Master of Ceremony for this international conference. We thank God for His holy blessings that all of us here are in good condition and have the opportunity to join this international conference. We are delighted that we have participants who are lecturers, researchers, practitioners, and students from some different countries and institutions. We would like to welcome our Excellencies distinguished guest, Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, BA, MBA, represented by Director of Human Resources of Directorate General of Higher Education, Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Muhammad Sofyan Effendi, MED. Our Excellencies Chairman of Universitas Kristen Indonesia Foundation, Insinyur Jeswa Un. Our Rector of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Dr. Daniswara Kaharyono, SH, MH, MBA. Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Dr. Raja Guguk, MSc, MA. Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Dr. Andes Sunarto M.Hum. Vice Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Mr. Roni Gunawan, SPD, MPD, MTH. Head of Study Programs of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, and all distinguished guests, keynote speakers, invited speakers, presenters, and honorable participants of the third International Conference on Education and Science. This international conference is held to respond to the ideas for alternative solutions to educational problems, especially the research and education in Asian context. We expect some inputs from education and science experts to respond to the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. Before we start our main agenda, please allow me to share some important information to all of us here. All participants have to join this international conference from the beginning until the end of the session to get the e-certificate, and please fill the attendance link sent by the committee. All participants are suggested to turn off the microphone properly and turn on your camera during the session to actively participate. If there are some questions, you may ask the question and write down your question in the chat box, both in Zoom as well as in the YouTube channel. Please turn off your camera if you are doing your personal activities. And for all participants, you may join this international conference by streaming on official UKI Jakarta YouTube channel and FKIP UKI Hebat YouTube channel. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us open our international conference with an opening prayer led by Dr. Noh Ibrahim Boiliu, MTH. This prayer will be led in a Christian way, so for the other beliefs, please pray according to your religion. To Pastor Noh, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, all participants. Before we start the whole of seminars today, let's pray. I will read in Christianity. Dear Father, we are grateful for today. You give us strength and health. May you bless this conference for this morning until the end. Thank you very much for your bless for us. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Mr. Roni Gunawan. Dear ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to sing National Anthem of Indonesia, continued by March of UKI. Please stand up in formal position and respectful position. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Welcoming speech by the chairman of the committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Taat Guswantoro, MSI.
Shalom Aleichem PCM Muhammadiyah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, and good morning. Praise to the God Almighty for His blessing and participation so that this event can be held. The International Conference on Education and Science, or ICES, is a regular scientific discussion forum for researchers in education and science. This event is a forum for sharing ideas and research findings from within and outside the country. Initially, the third ICES event would be held by face-to-face, but the COVID-19 pandemic occurred during the process. We realize that this pandemic is conditioned that very difficult situation, but we must not just sit around and in the face of this situation. This difficulty must be turned into an opportunity to discuss and contribute in the form of ideas related to education and research during this pandemic. Therefore, as the conference organizer, we propose the theme of research and education sustainability post-COVID-19 in ASEAN context. We feel that we need to make a few adjustments regarding the condition of this pandemic to ensure that this event takes place safely. Then we organize this event by online. The committee hopes that the conference can run well without neglecting safety factors by implementing strict health protocols. We want to thank to the Universitas Kristen Indonesia for providing support in fund and facilities for organizing this activity. We also thank to Dean, Vice Dean, and all of head of study program in FKIP UKI, and all parts who have contributed to this event. As the committee chairperson, I would like to give my special thanks to the entire team who have worked hard to carry out the activity. I appreciate the hard work and solidarity of all my friends. For your information, as a team, we have a unique name. That name motivates us. We called Tim Hebat Cihui. Finally, I want to congratulate you on joining this conference. Keeping calm and stay hebat Cihui. Shalom Aleichem, Beshem Hamasyah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om, Sabe Sata Bawantu Sukitata, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good morning and thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Taat Guswantoro. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to listen to a welcoming speech by the Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty. To Dr. Sunarto M. Hum, the floor is yours.
Shalom, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Ladies, gentlemen, and happy audience. First of all, let us express our gratitude to God Almighty, who had given His grace and gift so that we can all attend the seminar room or an online media in good health to attend the international conference which is named the Third International Conference of Education and Science, ICES. The rector of Christian University of Indonesia, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, stated that Mr. Dr. Danswara K. Harjono, SH, MH, MBA, in this remark this morning that this conference was organized by the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training to continue the international conference held last year. Distinguished guests, as we all know, Industrial Revolution 4.0 has significantly impacted every aspect of life, in addition to providing many benefits and conveniences. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 also provides challenges for society. The development of science and education plays an essential role in facing this era of Industrial Revolution 4.0. The Faculties of Education and Teacher Training wants to answer these challenges by organizing this international conference. This conference aims to increase the number of international publications of Indonesian academics in the field of natural science, social science, and education. Then this conference also aims to increase cooperation between researchers from various countries and the same time a publication media for Indonesian academic. The benefits that can be taken from this conference are improving the quality of Indonesian academics, especially in natural science, social science, and education. The next benefit is to become a medium for international publication for Indonesian academic in science, social science, and education. Finally, another benefit from this conference is collaborating with national and international conference held by the Faculty of Teacher Training in the following years. Finally, I do apologize if some my words are not pleasing to us. Have an excellent conference today and tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Sunarto. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to listen to an opening speech by the Chairman of Universitas Kristen Indonesia Foundation to Insinyur Joshua Un. The time is yours.
Thank you for time given to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Dean of the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, Vice Dean, lecturers and students, invited speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is an honor for me to welcome you all, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, for the Third International Conference of Education and Science, the academic meeting that gathers faculty members and students and even experts in education and science. Even though today we are still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we must not leave behind our mission to educate the nation's life. When UKI was established in 1953, UKI carried a noble mission, that is to educate young people so they could help the government build the nation with the two faculties only, the Faculty of Philosophy and Letters with sub-faculty of Education and Faculty of Economy. Established an education and also economics were believed to be the most important for Indonesia. English would help Indonesia to become part of the world of community and economics to help Indonesia grow. The mission of the institution never falters up to this day. UKI will serve the country, educate the young people to be leaders of the future. UKI will continuously strive to develop itself and commit to become a leading university and the center of excellence in education and of the national, regional, and international levels. With all the challenges, we realize that UKI is amongst universities worldwide that are raised to the accelerate and transformation of its campus into more adaptive campus that respond to the global change and demands, especially in this era of disruption. Amid this global competition, UKI continues to work hard to become a university with excellence and can answer the needs of the times. As educational institution, UKI plays the role of the facilitating the quality and opening learning process, primarily through the independent campus program to produce output with exemplary character and broad skills. I thank the Dean of Dr. Sunarto and Vice Dean of Mr. Roni Gunawan for their leadership and support of the faculty members to activate and to facilitate higher education. We hope that FKIP UKI continues to motivate the faculty members. I wish you all a fruiting meeting. May God bless all. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Insinyur Jesua Un. Opening speech by Director of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Jakarta, to Dr. Daniswara K. Haryono, SH, MH, MBA. The floor is yours.
Shalom, good morning, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Ladies, gentlemen, and happy attendees, we thank God Almighty because of His grace and help we can gather in this conference called the Third International Conference of Education and Science, or ISIS, which was held by the Teacher Training and Education Faculty of Universitas Kristen Indonesia as a continuation of the international conference held last year. Now we have to reflect again of the essence of existence of Universitas Kristen Indonesia. Who are we and our duties and functions for society, nations, and state, especially in the new era, namely in Industrial Revolution 4.0. This conference is one of the contributions that Universitas Kristen Indonesia can make for the community, nation, and state in the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Dear distinguished guests, a German technocrat who called Schwab in 2017 states that the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is an era in which information technology has become the basis of human life worldwide. The era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 was marked by implementing a cyber-physical system, which is the integration of human life support equipment with information system, such as computerized production system. In this era, the industrial world will generally be engaged in the scope of the internet, big data, artificial intelligence, advanced materials, robotics, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. Thus, the Industrial Revolution 4.0 will produce a professional transition. PERE in 2017 states that 75 to 375 million Indonesian workers are experiencing professional transition. This massive professional transition can lead the vacant position and an increase in the employed if human resources are not ready to meet the required qualification. Therefore, in facing the Industrial Revolution 4.0, it is necessary to change the paradigm of education in Indonesia, significantly higher education to improve workforce skills that are compatible with digital technology. In facing the Industrial Revolution 4.0, the development of science and education plays an important role, which is included in the 10 national research master plans. We call it in Indonesia, Rencana Induk Riset Nasional, or RIRN, for 2015 to 2045. Science dominates the RIRN by covering the first 8 points, 3 of which are the creation and use of new renewable energy, information and communication technology, and advanced materials. The 10th item in RIRN is integrated social research in the humanities and culture and arts based on economics and human resources studies, with focus and educational research related to national character education based on globally competitive religious and cultural values. In the study of socio-cultural development, educational research covers the topic of the study of indigenous peoples with the potential and mapping of indigenous peoples' problems. Thus, the RIRN clearly shows the importance of science and education which underlie all human life, especially in the face of Industrial Revolution 4.0. As a result, science and education became particular fields of study in the 3rd International Conference of Education and Science 2021. Through this activity, it is hoped that Indonesian academics' number of international publications in the fields of science, social, and sciences and education will increase. Finally, if something is not pleasing, please forgive. Welcome to the conference. We believe today's conference is beneficial for the ladies, gentlemen, and our beloved national Indonesia. Amin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tuhan memberkati kita semua. Om Santi Santi Om. Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Daniswara Kaharyono. Rector of Universitas Kristen Indonesia Jakarta will beat the gong to officially open the 3rd International Conference on Education and Science, accompanied by Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia, represented by Director of Human Resources of Directorate General of Higher Education Republic of Indonesia, Chairman of Universitas Kristen Indonesia Foundation, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Dean of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, the Vice Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, the Chairman of the Committee of the Third ISES, and we invite Dr. Muhammad Sofyan Effendi, MED, Insinyur Jeswa Un, Dr. Daniswara Kaharyono, Dr. Wilson Rajaguguk, Dr. Sunarto, Mr. Roni Gunawan, and Mr. Taat Guswantoro to come forward and beat the gong. Ladies and gentlemen, the Third International Conference on Education and Science, ISES 2021, is officially opened now. Thank you very much. For a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen, here is a performance of Nusantara traditional dance by the student of Universitas Kristen Indonesia. This dance tells about Indonesia unity in diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy.
Nabi
Thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to the dance performance of UKI students. It is such an honor for us to have a keynote session with our honorable speaker, His Excellency, Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Republic of Indonesia, represented by Director of Human Resources of Directorate General of Higher Education, Republic of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Muhammad Sofyan Effendi, MED. The floor is yours.
Thank you, moderators. Honorable Rector of Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Dean of FKIP, Universitas Kristen Indonesia, Conference Chairman and distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, and all guests, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Universitas Kristen Indonesia for having me to have. It's a great pleasure to attend this conference on behalf of the Indonesian Ministers in Education, Culture, Research and Technology. Distinguished audience, I trust you are familiar with the global megatrend 2045, which technology, climate, demography, and culture change very rapidly and massively. Consequently, our education system is required to transform itself in unforeseen speed, not only due to the technological advance, but also due to the pandemic COVID-19. Disruption of technology brings with it massive impact on all sectors of our life, including education. As emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and automation take over the workplace, the skill requirement is changing accordingly. Educational institutions are thus increasingly trying to improve learning outcome for their students to help them meet the skill required and industry that they will soon enter after graduation. Skill. Students need some support in developing knowledge, skill, attitude, value, and opportunity to adapt to, drive it, and even shape with it to the future holds. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology understand that we need a breakthrough to welcome the fast-changing future. Conventional ways of doing our business are not enough anymore. We have to run fast, jumping. Therefore, Minister Nadiem Makarim introduced educational policies within the framework of Merdeka Belajar, Kampus Merdeka, or we call Emancipated Learning Independent Campus. To enable students to continue studying from home during the pandemic, our ministry provides a number of support to facilitate the process. Distance learning applications are developed for elementary and secondary education levels. We also collaborate with various online learning platforms to provide facilities that are publicly accessible and free. At higher education level, we collaborate with telecommunication providers to provide access of internet and low-cost internet for university students and lecturers. Moreover, to enhance the capacity of our lecture and academia to create and develop online learning content continuously, we provide various training, credit transfer, recognition for university delivering online learning, and making use of international basic open online courses. The Ministry, through its Directorate General of Higher Education, Research and Technology, also introduced 4 new strategic plans. The first one, increasing the enrollment rate of higher education. supporting staff. And the last, four, reforming the governance system of the Directorate General of Higher Education, Research and Technology. The implementation of such strategic plan is reflected on various policies introduced by the Ministry, including the Campus Merdeka or independent campus, and the key performance indicator of higher education institution. The independent campus policy is basically aimed to link and match the university student with the industry and workplace, as well as to prepare the student to face the fast-changing future through 9 core activities. The activities include student mobility, internship, micro-teaching, research, humanitarian project, entrepreneurship, independent study or independent project, rural development, and the last, state defense. Meanwhile, the key performance indicator of higher education institution consists of 8 indicators. The indicators are graduates getting decent jobs, students having some of campus experience, lecture having of the campus activities, and practitioners teaching at the campus. Work of faculty members enjoy this society and gaining international recognition. Study program collaboration with world-class counterpart, collaborative and participative classes, and the last, internationally standardized study program. Ladies and gentlemen, to facilitate the achievement of such KPI or main indicator, the Ministry provides 3 schemes of funding for the higher education institution. There are incentives for public university based on the achievement of the KPI. Matching fund for public or private university to have collaborative project with their counterpart. And the last, competitive fund for competitive program of independent campus for both public and private university. In addition, we offer a variety scholarship program, degree or non-degree, in country and overseas, to ensure that learning process are not discontinued by the pandemic COVID-19, and to enhance the link and match between the industry and academia in the era of industrial revolution 4.0 and industrial society 5.0. To nurture a research culture at higher education level, our ministry also provides a variety of research funding schemes. These include the international or national competitive research grant, decentralized research grant, and mandatory research grant with the funding of the Indonesia Endowment Fund or Indonesia, or we call LPDP, Lembaga Pengelola Dana Pendidikan. The focus of the research program is on the area which support the national needs, such as the green economy, blue economy, and digital economy. We also provide scheme for nurturing innovation talents, such as innovation talent program, digital talent program, and incentive for university startup. All of these efforts are to ensure that research and innovation can bring the utmost benefits to the society. One on that, I would like to conclude my speech by encouraging everyone here to develop a synergy, synchronization, and collaboration to welcome to every challenging future. Thank you very much. Universitas Kristen Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, His Excellency. Dear ladies and gentlemen, for a brief moment, we will have a photo session. Please kindly open your camera and be ready for taking pictures. We have some slides here for the participants. Please kindly open your camera. Okay, ready? I will count 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Okay, next slide. 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Please be patient, ladies and gentlemen, because we have 10 slides for today's international conference. The third slide, 3, 2, 1, smile, please. Okay, the fourth slide. Open your camera, please. I will count. 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. The fifth slide. Okay. Open your camera. 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Next slide. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Okay, we still have 3 more slides. Please be patient. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Okay, the next slide. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Okay, I think we are approaching the last slide now. 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Oh, we still have 1 more slide. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Smile, please. Okay, those are all the slides. Thank you very much for your patience and smile. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, distinguished guest participants, now we are going to have our plenary talk with our invited speakers. We have here today with us Associate Professor Dr. Chen Wen-li from National Institute of Education, Singapore, Dr. Sarifah Muslia, Syed Mustafa from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, and Professor Dr. Marina Silalahi, SPD MSI from Christian University of Indonesia, Jakarta, which will be led by our moderator, Dr. Lamhot Naibaho, SPD MHum from Universitas Kristen Indonesia. Before we invite Dr. Naibaho to the stage, allow me to read a brief introduction about him. Dr. Naibaho is an associate professor at the English Teaching Study Program of Universitas Kristen Indonesia. Besides being a lecturer, he is also a senior researcher, and his research interests are first language, second language, language teaching, language testing, curriculum, psycholinguistics, and linguistics. He has been invited as a speaker to some national and international conferences, guest lecturer, and have got some national and international grants. He has published many articles in the national and international accredited journals, Scopus, and WOS indexed journals. He is also being an active reviewer for several national and international journals. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Lamhot Naibaho, SPD MHum. Let's give a round of applause to Dr. Lamhot.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, thank you for the chance that's given to me to be the moderator today for 3 invited speakers. The first is Chen Wenli. He is an associate professor from National Institute of Education, Singapore. And the second invited speaker, it is Dr. Sariva Muslia Syed Mustafa from University of Technology Mara, Malaysia. And the third speaker, it is Dr. Marina Silalahi, MSE from Christian University of Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay, it's an honor to me to sit in front of all of you, but first of all, I would like to greet everybody. Again, welcome to the ICES conference, and hopefully everybody can have a very nice conference today with our invited speakers and also presenters from some countries. And as it is read just now that I'm Dr. Lamhot Naibaho as a moderator today. And before we invited our speaker to present the discussion, I would like to inform something to all of the audiences which is in the Zoom, yeah? All of the audiences and participants which is in the Zoom, that if you would like to listen to the presentations of the 3 speakers in Bahasa Indonesia, you can just click on the interpreter menu in your Zoom screen. You can click interpreter, then even the speakers are going to talk in Bahasa Indonesia, in English, you will be able to listen to their presentations in Bahasa Indonesia. So now let's come into the first presenters, the first invited speakers. But before that, I will read her short biography. It is Dr. Chen Wenli. Dr. Chen Wenli is an associate professor, and also she is the head of Learning Sciences and Assessment Academic Group at National Institute of Education, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Her research interests include computer-supported collaborative learning, or commonly called as TSCL, learning analytic, artificial intelligence for education, and mobile learning. Dr. Chen has published 2 books and more than 80 papers on international peer-reviewed journals. She has been invited as the keynote speakers for about 20 international conferences. This is a great experience. Yes, she has won a dozen Best Papers Award in international conferences. She was presented the Distinguished Researcher Award by the Asia Pacific Society for Computers Education in 2020. And she received the Excellence in Teaching commendations in 2015 and 2017 from NIE, and the Nanyang Education Award from NTU in 2016. Besides, Dr. Chen is the editor-in-chief for Journal of Computers in Education. It is an ST indexed journal. the associate editor for international science, and it is an SSTI indexed journal. And then she is the editor for Asia Pacific Journal of Education, indexed by SSTI journal. And then research and practice in technology enhanced learning, and the advisory editor for Asia Pacific Education Review, which is also indexed by SSTI. And Dr. Chen is currently executive committee members of Asia Pacific Society for Computers in Education and Global Chinese Society for Computers in Education. And she was the co-chair for TSCL, Community of International Society in the Learning Sciences. She was also the co-chair for the International Conference of the Learning Sciences in 2016, and the program committee chair for the Global Chinese Conference on Computers in Education 2014. And the last is, she's the organizing committee chair for the International Conference Computer in Education 2012. And of course, I'm not going to read all of her bio because I'll spend the whole days to read it. So now let's invite Dr. Chen Wenli to present. Time is yours.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning, Dr. Nabanho. Yeah, thank you very much for the nice introduction. So, dear faculty members and the students from the university and dear distinguished guests, a very good morning to all of you. So I'm Wenli, I'm from NTU Singapore. So greetings from Singapore. So thank you very much for inviting me to the third International Conferences of Education and Science. It's my honor to be here to share with you my research. So allow me to share my slides. Okay. So the title of my sharing is, the title is Supporting Effective Collaborative Learning in Classrooms, the Technological and Pedagogical Design. Okay, so let's share with me your context. Yeah. So let me start with the Singapore's Educational Technology Plan. It is the next decade from 2020 to 2030. So as you may have been aware, Singapore has gone for a long way in using information communication technology to support students' learning. So from K to 12, even for the higher education, Infocom technology has been integrated in every aspect of teaching and the learning. So this Singapore Educational Technology Plan, actually just a counter plan, is launched this year, May. So this is from Ministry of Education Singapore. So hopefully by using meaningful technologies, meaningful integration of technology, our students could be more self-directed, personalized, human-centered, and connected. And we design and implement this kind of learning experiences for our students. So my research actually is here, connected. So which is in line with the 21st century competencies framework in specific, the communication, collaboration, and the information skills. So my research area is computer-supported collaborative learning. So in the past 20 years, my research is focusing on how we can design technology and pedagogy to help our students learn better. Yeah. So most of my research projects are in the K-12 context. So today I'm going to share with you two of my research projects in this area. Okay, so some background of this. Okay, so let's take a look. In the traditional way of teaching, right, when we are in the classroom, no matter in higher education or in the K-12, The common discourse in the classroom is called IRE pattern. I, teachers initiate a question, right? R, students respond, but maybe just one or two students can respond, right? And the teacher evaluates this question. So this is called IRE pattern. So our job, how are we going to tap on technology and pedagogical design to move this kind of IRE pattern of discourse into more interactive network classroom so that students all can get their voice heard and they can learn better while collaborating with each other. Yeah. So this is another initiative of Singapore. So it is called a PDLP. It's a short form for Personalized Digital Learning Program. Starting from this year, all the secondary school students in Singapore, they are going to have personal learning devices. So they own them. So this is a pure one-to-one national initiative. All the secondary school students, they bring this device to school and back home. So this has a huge impact in education and the learning. Because as a teacher, when we are teaching in the classroom, now all the secondary school students, even for the higher primary students, they are bringing their devices to the classroom. So how are we going to optimize their experiences by our technological and pedagogical design is always our concern. So as a teacher, we need to have the teachers become better designers and facilitators of meaningful technology-mediated learning. Okay, so let's zoom into the collaborative learning part. So as a researcher in this field, we've already found out that actually effective collaborative learning won't happen automatically in the classroom. It's not just like you group them together, they're working in the group, then students are going to have an effective collaboration. Actually, there are a lot of pedagogical and technological support needed. So our job as a researcher, we are doing the design-based research. So we are trying to address complex problems in an authentic context, in close collaboration with those teachers. So as a researcher, from the literature, we know what are those design principles for effective collaborative learning. So what we need to do is we need first that we design the technology and the pedagogy, then we develop this technology, then the teachers will implement it in the classroom. As a researcher, we collect the data in real time, we have a quick evaluation, identify the room for improvement, then we go to the next cycles of redesign, redevelop, collect the data, evaluation, and redesign. So through this kind of iterative cycles of design-based research, we hope at the end we not only produce a good quality learning technology, but at the same time, right, we are impacting schools' teaching experiences in authentic context. Then, last but not least, we also contribute to the research field by generating design principles or models for the theoretical contribution. Okay, so next I would like to share with you the first of my research project. The learning technology is called Group Scribbles, right? So actually this technology is a bit similar with Padlet, so which is commonly used by our university students and the teachers. So this is like a shared group working space. So there was a two-pane window. So students, the private space is in the lower pane, so students can write, can draw, but once they drag this post across the line, and it will become public. Public means that everybody else in the group or on the space, they are able to see this. So this is a simple technology, but this technology, we have a lot of pedagogical design, yeah. So maybe just share with you one example. For example, the top right, it is for science, primary grade 4 science. So the topic is light and shadow, right? So the instruction from the teachers is those are all irregular objects. Can you draw their possible shadows? So students, they are going to draw, right? And they found out, how come the shadow I draw is different from my peers, from my classmates? Then they start to discuss. Then they realize what is the learning point here is that depending on where the source of lighting coming from, those irregular objects, they are going to cast different shadows. So this is a really student-centered learning rather than teachers do the direct instruction on this topic, but it's a student construct this knowledge together with each other. So we have been using this group scribbles for many schools in Singapore, right? We are doing design-based research, as I shared. So they're in many different subjects with the aim to transform the classroom practice into a collaborative one. Yeah. And what is the pedagogical model we are using? So here I'm sharing with you, we have developed this funnel model. So this is one example. Actually, this is in the Chinese language learning, mother tongue learning in secondary grade 1. So the learning topic is a teacher said, okay, now it is about comprehension. So after reading this essay or passage from the author, what do you think the key message that the author wants to communicate with us? So this is a typical comprehension type of topic. So students now they are working in the groups of 4, right? The 4 of them, they are grouping together, and the 4 of them, they are going to have this working space at the group scribbles. And what they need to do, first phase, they need to post their individual ideas. So after reading the passage, what do they think? What the key message from this essay? So they post their ideas as much as they can. But once they see other groups members' idea, now it's for them to discuss and talk, right? Then they go to the second phase. The second phase, they need to come out the less number of the ideas. However, the quality of the ideas needs to be higher. So this is the second phase. Yeah. After the second phase, once the students feel they have achieved the best possible quality of their online posting, then teacher will ask them to go to other groups to do a virtual gallery work. Because all the students in the classroom, they are having these devices. So they can just click on the right above, there was a button, then they go to other groups, take a look at other groups' work, providing a lot of comments and learning from others' groups. Then they come back to their own groups. The last phase, the teacher's instruction is, now you only have no more than 2 posts. However, this 2 posts, the quality of the ideas need to represent your highest quality of ideas from your group. So they need to discuss and consolidate and synthesize their idea again. So at the end, the students group posted 2, but this 2 has represented the highest quality of their ideas. So this is a very simple model, we would say. Yeah, so it is called a funnel model. So my team developed it, and we published this in a very good quality journal. Then, as you can see, even though this model, the example I showed you is for a language learning, but this funnel model can be used in any collaborative learning context. For example, it could be in the STEM design, right? Collaborative design in STEM education. Well, during the ideation stage, first the students need to come out as many ideas as possible. Then they need to put collective with them within the group. Then they learn from other groups. Then they come back to their own group, seek greater perfection. So the key idea is, it's not just to get students to collaborate for the sake of collaboration. They need to keep improving their ideas. There are a lot of interdependence among those group members. So at the end, right, so they are advancing the knowledge of the group, but at the same time, they are advancing their knowledge for individual. Okay, so this is the first pedagogical model I'm sharing with you. So due to the time constraint, I'm not going to share with you all those empirical research findings. I just share with you, we have been working with 15 teachers, at the end, become 50 teachers come on board. So at the start, 15 teachers, at the end, 20 schools of Singapore, they come on board. So we are doing a lot of lesson design, implementation, and the professional development sessions with school teachers. Okay. So this project, actually, my project has been cited by United States National Education Technology Plan 2010. So there's one paragraph, they are citing examples from Singapore. So that is our research project's example. Okay, so next, I would like to share with you another related research project, also in line with the research in computer-supported collaborative learning. But in specific, it is computer-supported collaborative argumentation. So why argumentation? For example, in science, in Singapore, there was a big shift in science education. Previously, it is focused more on experiment and exploration. But in the recent years, it has shifted to argument, scientific argumentation, which means that students not just only know the answer, but they need to argue using their logical reasoning to analyze the situation and providing the claim and evidence against or support this claim. So the reasoning process is very important. And this kind of argumentation is not just about science learning. It is
recording in progress.
So it is not just about science learning. It is also, for example, for social studies and histories, inquiry-based learning. We want students to see multiple perspectives, right? Because this helps with their cross-cultural communication and global awareness. And argumentation is also a very important aspect for language and the literature learning. Okay, so then as a researcher, how we can play a role in impacting schools' practices in collaborative argumentation? Because we want students to collaborate together, right? So they construct and critique arguments together. They need to learn to argue and argue to learn, yeah. So we also identified a lot of pedagogical and technological support needed. For example, in terms of argumentation, we are proposing a solution is a graph-based argumentation instead of a text-based argumentation. Because we found out when students are doing text-based argumentation, it is quite often they lose the overall picture of the argumentation. They just focus on one part of the argumentation and argue very deeply, but we do want them to see multiple perspectives before they go too deep in one thread of the argumentation. Yeah. And the second aspect of the support the researcher might be able to provide is in terms of collaboration, right? So we want students to be exposed to multiple perspectives, but at the same time, they develop the 21st century competencies such as communication and the collaboration. But beyond that, they also need to improve their knowledge and ideas through knowledge co-construction. So we need to design some kind of scaffolding mechanism in our technology to help students. So the third aspect of the support actually is automated assessment through learning analytics. So we need to provide some kind of automated real-time assessment indicators to teachers and the students, so they know how to act upon to improve their learning in real time. Okay, so this is our technological solution. The platform is called Apple Tree, right? Apple Tree is a short form for the project title, which is Assessing Processes and the Products for Learning by Tracking and Reporting Efficacy and Effectiveness. Okay, so as you can see here, on the group working space, right, is a graph-based argumentation space, and we do have a lot of scaffolding. So if they want to propose a claim, yeah, once they click claim, and it's going to be an oval-shaped claim, then the rectangle shape is the evidence, but the arrow means something. The green color arrow means this evidence supporting this claim. The red color arrow means this is evidence against it, right? But sometimes we also found that sometimes students have initial stage of the argumentation. They are not really sure it is evidence for, against, or claim. I'm not really sure, but I feel this kind of ideas could be relevant to this argumentation. So they can be have a cloud-shaped idea, but this cloud-shaped idea can be transformed into evidence for, against, or claim in the future, just by right-clicking, and they can choose, yeah. So this is a technology, okay. So as you can see, for this technology, students can also provide a lot of peer commenting. So they can comment within their own groups. They can also comment on other groups' work. So when they commenting other groups' work, right, they need to click the smiling face or not very happy face or very happy face, and they need to explain why they like it or why they dislike it. So on the group working space, and we are able to show to the students and the teachers which post receive many like and which post receive very few like. This will help channel students and teachers attention in those posts. Those posts a lot of people like could be very good quality posting, right? If a lot of people dislike it, which means those could be a knowledge gap. Yeah, okay. So in terms of collaboration, this is our pedagogical model we have embedded in our system. So it is a 5-phase collaborative knowledge improvement model. And we also published a paper on this model in the top journal in our research field. So for example, students first, individual ideation, each member, they can populate their ideas in the group space, right? And the phase 2, group members to discuss and synergize their ideas. And the phase 3, members of each group to view the post of other groups and the comments, and they learn from there. Phase 4, they come back to their own group, evaluate their peer comments, refine their ideas. Phase 5, so they can either post a reflection or write an individual argumented essay as the end product of this argumentation. Right? So it is a spiral model of a collaborative knowledge improvement. So just show you some examples. Those are all screen captures from the students. This is the argumentation in social study. As you can see in phase 1, right, there are many ideas, but those ideas are not very mature and they are not very well connected with each other. Then in phase 2 and 3, students, through the discussion, they keep improving their ideas. They add more ideas. Then in the phase 4, right, after peer commenting, they keep improving their argumentation. And we did a lot of data analysis, as you can see here, right? So in general, students, the quality of idea generated keep improving. Okay, so in terms of the third aspect of a support we are providing, right? It is automated learning analytics and assessment. So nowadays, because it is e-learning, online learning, we have online tools, we have those personal learning devices. So we have to design a lot of real-time learning analytics. Then we conceptualize our learning analytics in 2 aspects, social process and a cognitive product. So just give you some ideas how we assess students' social participation. So in our system, we are providing real-time learning analytics. For example, on the right above, it is participation for each group. Then the students, for example, group 1, a lot of participation. Students are very actively generate their ideas, and there is a good balance between claim, evidence for and against, because the green color is evidence for, the red color is evidence against them. Yeah. So the last group, it is very clear. The last group, which is at the far right, their contribution is not many. And for this group, their ideas are not very mature because they don't have evidence against at all. So this group need to be more critical in the future. Yeah. Then we also provided this real-time social network analysis. So it is like a web, right? But each dot representing a student. If the size of the dot is bigger, which means that this student has contributed many ideas. If the size of the dot is very small, which means that this students contribute very little. Yeah. Those arrows between those dots represent the interactions. The thicker this arrow or line, which means the more frequent these 2 students are interacting with each other. So a good collaboration in the social network, we are expecting to see many thick lines across other people here. So with this kind of learning analytics and the representation, students will have a better idea on how collaborate they are. Okay, so in terms of cognitive aspect, currently we have done this. We have our machine, we can do automatically detect their structural completeness. So in the argumentation, right, we are looking at the essential components that are critical to effective argumentation. So if the group only have one claim, but without any evidence for or evidence against it, and on their screen, we show them a green apple a bit sour, okay? But once the students add one evidence supporting this claim, and the color of the green apple will turn into red, right? So a bit sweeter, okay? If they further add one more evidence against this claim, and it will turn into yellow if they add more than one evidence for or more than one evidence against it. It will become a golden apple at the end. So students know, right, they need to aim for more golden apples. But it is a journey, right? At the beginning, it is fine. Everybody starts with a good apple. But at the end, they need to have a more golden apple because all the ideas are improvable. Okay, so currently my team is also working on using some machine learning techniques to look at the students, the quality of their ideas, and trying to provide some feedback. It is still ongoing. It is not a very easy job because at this moment, we feel our data amount also have some kind of limitation, but we are working on it. Yeah. So we also have a lot of school-based research in this project using Apple Tree. Yeah. So just to share with you some of our empirical findings, right? So in terms of knowledge improvement, so almost for all the schools that we are working with, if we measure their pre-test and the post-test on their content knowledge or conceptual knowledge, there is always a significant improvement from pre-test to post-test. Okay, and we also do some epistemic network analysis on their student-generated artifact. So as you can see from this epistemic network analysis, in the pre-test, normally the students' ideas are scattered here and there. There are many ideas, however, they are not well connected. But after the argumentation, we found out actually there was all those ideas, they are very well connected through the collaborative argumentation. So it means that it is really effective. It is not just students not only improve on their content knowledge or conceptual knowledge, they also improve their logic reasoning, right? And making connections among those ideas, no matter the ideas from themselves or from others. So this is really an important indicator for knowledge co-construction. Okay, so we also, because we are doing design-based research, so we always ask ourselves, so what are the design principles we can generate so that in the future, we can make those design principles more explicit to those teacher practitioners so they know how to design and facilitate a meaningful collaborative learning experiences. So we did a lot of quantitative, the qualitative analysis. It is a process analysis. It's not outcome analysis. So we are doing those time series analysis. Take a look of the whole process of students' collaboration. So which students post what idea at first and which ideas are common. So then we are also doing uptake analysis and see how students uptake the ideas from others or from their previous ideas, then how they come out with the idea, the new ideas. And sometimes I think the key research question behind it, we are trying to look at what are the missed opportunities. Is there any missed opportunities? Missed opportunities means we expect the students can reach this level, but at the end, they only reach this level. So there's a gap. And what makes this happen, and how are we going to tackle the problem to address the gap? So that's our focus, right? And we also to do multiple data analysis. This is one of the examples of a lexicon analysis. We are looking at the significant patterns of students' collaborative learning behavior. So usually, we are going to choose 2 top groups and the 2 weakest groups when they are doing collaborative learning. Then we do a comparison and contrast and trying to identify in those very good performed groups when they are collaborating so well, what makes them to be so successful? And for those less well performed groups, what makes them learn at this level? What are the gaps and what makes them at this level? So then we derive a lot of design principles. So here, just share with you some of the missed opportunities that we have identified, right? In terms of task design, in terms of division of the labor, in terms of coordination among the students and the timing, right? The duration of the task. So those are missed opportunities. And we also derive a lot of design principles based on these missed opportunities. And we provide a lot of handbook for the teachers so they know next time when they are designing collaborative learning, these are things that they need to pay more attention, right? Okay, so to conclude, okay, here just share with you 2 examples.
Sorry, Dr. Chen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Time is 5 minutes to go.
Sure. Thank you. I'm going to add my presentation soon. Thank you for the reminder.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, thank you. So to conclude, we are really put a simple yet powerful technology into the classroom, and our aim is to transform classroom into collaborative practices. And we also feel, we need to support teachers to balance innovation and efficiency, right? Because teachers, they have their own aims to achieve, and most of the aims are actually, they are related to content knowledge learning. But teaching innovation also, I think we hope they are going to have a balance. So we hope with our technological and pedagogical support, teachers, they are able to be at this optimal adaptability corridor. Yeah. So at the end, we benefit the teachers and also benefit the students by designing meaningful collaborative learning experiences and environment. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
You still have 3 minutes to go to conclude.
Yeah, I know. I understand that there was a Q&A.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wenli Chen. I think it's a great presentation and you did it very, very good. I can understand it clearly. So it means that you are developing a learning model, yeah?
Yeah, learning model and the learning technology. Yeah.
Yes, by involving technology, and I'm very interested to try it later on after it is completed, yeah?
Yeah, it is, the second project is still ongoing, but the technology is ready to use. So for a researcher, we keep adding. Now I'm working on the AI component, artificial intelligence for automated learning analytics on students' idea development, which is very challenging.
Actually, I do the same things as what you did. Now I'm developing a learning model also. I call it as memory bank system, memory bank learning model. So this is only for learning language.
Language learning, wow. But it is a language learning, I would say it is a well-defined area. I think in terms of AI, it is a good area to look into.
You're right. Okay, Dr. Chen, here I got some questions for you from the forum. The first question is, because you're developing a learning model, so there are some related questions here. The first is from Ibu Eka Budi. Yeah? She wants to know how to overcome an inactive students while having discussion, because they usually tend to be silent, yeah, or tend to be only follower. So how can we overcome these passive students, yeah?
Yeah, thank you. This is a great question. Actually, in our missed opportunity identified, this is one of the opportunity. So the first, actually, we are assigning roles. One of the strategy we inform teachers, assign the roles for students. So assign the roles in two roles. The first one is a more coordination role. In group leader, somebody timekeeper, somebody need to take meeting minutes, somebody need to resource manager. So make sure everybody, they have a role. And at the same time, actually, there was a separate role we can assign them. So in terms of resources, different students, they need to have some kind of different resources. They need to piece together. Without one piece, it's like a puzzle. They won't be able to complete. So this will give some ownership and the responsibility for those shy or passive students. They know they need to do something. If they're not doing, their group is going to be failed. It's going to. So I think that's as a start. Once they get motivated, they will become more participative.
Okay, let me explain to the forums. Okay, jadi dari penjelasannya tadi, bagaimana cara mengatasi siswa yang aktif, siswa yang kurang aktif di dalam berdiskusi itu dengan melibatkan dia untuk melakukan sebuah peran, kira-kira begitu ya. Oke, And the second question, Dr. Chen, it's about Kinespatial, because it's written in English and I'm a bit unsure about the meaning. Let me read it. Kinespatial funnel model for the middle level students. Can it be practiced at the preschool level or elementary level?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, our research actually, we use this for lower primary school. It worked for lower primary. But for the kindergarten, we haven't tried out, but we believe it works. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Mr. Chen, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
So there was so it worked. We tried out in primary grade 2. It worked. And so far we haven't, in my research, we haven't done it for the kindergarten, but we believe it worked because it is more for teachers to scaffolding. Once teacher registered the idea, right, it worked.
Right. So do you plan to try it out at elementary school later?
Oh, yes. So far it works in elementary school, yeah.
Okay.
So now I haven't done any research in the kindergarten, but I think it is also worth going there. So thank you for the question.
Okay, right. And the other interested question, Dr. Wenli Chen, one of the forums asked you a question. It is said, what is the scoring measurement for computer-supported collaborative arguments learning?
A rubric.
Scoring,
right?
yes, it's like a rubric, yeah, it's like a rubric.
Okay, wow. This is a very good question because in the literature, in terms of human coding, there were a lot of existing rubrics. And our rubrics is from the European researcher Armin Weinberg. We are using his framework on measuring the quality of a collaborative argumentation. Now, I think in my team, the challenges, human coding is much easier, right? Because we can do the manual coding. However, how to use computers? Machine learning at this moment, they are not able to do it very well, the AI part. I think this is the challenging part. There was still a huge gap between what a researcher can do as a human coding on the scoring of a collaborative argumentation. But so far, our machine is not able to do at the complex level as a human did. So in terms of scoring rubrics, we are adapting from the literature. The main source of our literature is from German researcher Armin Weinberger's research, the rubrics for collaborative argumentation.
So it means you don't make your own rubric for the models you have developed, yeah?
We have, but I think it is informed by the literature. We also have our own framework.
Okay, very good, thank you. And we have another question here. This is also interesting to me. So this is also from Ibu Eka Budi, yeah? Further question from Ibu Eka Budi. So she wants to know that in your presentation, in your topics, you did talk about groups, yeah? Grouping students. And she wants to know, how would you like to group the students? Do you make the group based on gender, based on the test result, or based on the self-regulated learning?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the question. Grouping is a very important area in collaborative learning research field. And based on the literature, there are some kind of general rules, right? Normally, we never grouping based on gender. Yeah, because there could be more issues, gender equity issues evolved at the end. So, but there could be homogeneous grouping and heterogeneous grouping in terms of students' performance past. So their knowledge level, are we trying to group students have a similar knowledge level together? Or are we grouping those who are very mixing, those who are very advanced in certain knowledge, but those who are very weak in certain knowledge. So the researchers, the literature has provided a lot of insights. So it depends. If the nature of the group task, it is more for revision or reinforcing, homogeneous grouping works. But if the nature of the group task, it is a more open-ended, you-structured, we are trying to promote the creativity or design, and we should have a heterogeneous grouping, which means we have a different profile and a different so-called ability, grouping them together. Normally, they are working better than homogeneous group. So, to answer this question in short, for those reinforcing, revision, homogeneous group. For those creative, you-structured task, heterogeneous group.
Okay, that's very interesting way of grouping students, yeah? Right, Dr. Chen, we have still 3 minutes to go. We can wait in other questions, but while waiting for the other question, let me make sure something. So, because this is an integration, the learning models that you developed is a model which is integrated technology and pedagogy, yeah? Okay, so the question is, when you explain us just now, the way you conduct the teaching learning by grouping the students, but still they use, like, let's say, a device, laptop or mobile phone, yeah? Okay, so how can you develop the students' social, psychological and also social part? Because they actually, even they do such kind of discussion using technology, but still they don't talk. They only write them down while doing discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Nabaho, for this. Is a very, very important question. Yes, we are using technology, but we need to be very careful in integrating the technology. Our purpose is not to replace their face-to-face interaction. Our purpose is to level up their face-to-face interaction. Okay. So the examples of my design-based research, actually we are using this technology in a classroom setting, which means that students, they are collocated together, they are sit with each other, grouping with each other. So our technology is trying to help them to have a more higher quality verbal discussion rather than no discussion at all. So for the group scribble and Apple Tree, when we are designing this technology, the design scenario actually is a face-to-face classroom, but we can use technology to level up their discussion and idea improvement. So it is very interesting starting from last year, right? Because of COVID-19, you know, school closed, but students in Singapore, they have to do the home-based learning. Then the teachers start to try use Apple Tree for remote learning. So remote learning, for example, they are using Zooms like what we are doing now. Students are in those breakout room, but they also use Apple Tree to do the collaborative argumentation. And they can also chat synchronously using the chatting function of the Zoom in the breakout Zoom. So we also found, wow, it is very interesting. It works. It is also works. Yeah.
Very good.
So yeah. So even students are not, so they still can talk. We encourage students to talk to each other because we believe this is very important for their social emotional learning and the competencies of communication and the collaboration. So the purpose, because for those learning models, right, actually be from phase 1 to phase 2 or from between phase 2 to phase 3, there were a lot of verbal discussions going on.
Okay, so although it is integrated with technology, but still the student psychological and also social and also let's say social intelligence, will be developed too. Okay, I think this is very interesting topic, Dr. Chen, and we would love to listen to further information about the completions of this learning model. So hopefully we can use this later on to be a teaching model in our university also.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your moderation, and thank you for the great questions from the participants. They are the great audience.
Okay, thank you very much, because time is over. Actually, we have still some question to be asked, but we will organize it by typing it and send it to you. So we will text you the question.
Yeah, I will reply. Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
thank you,
thank you, Dr. Chen Wenli. So let us go on to the next presenters. Okay, give applause please to our first invited speaker. And now,
bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. And now we go on into the next speakers, next invited speakers. It is Dr. Sharifa Muslia Syed Mustafa. Yeah? Okay, let me read her short bio. She is the senior lecturer at the Faculty of Education, University Technology Mara, MARA. Okay, she teaches various courses relating to education, such as counseling, educational psychology, and research methodology. Okay, she's currently the head of education department, and she has received her doctorate. She had received her doctorate in educational psychology and Master of Science Guidance and Counseling from University Putra, Malaysia, and her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Sociology from University of Georgia, USA. Her passion is first in teaching, followed by research and students counseling. Her research interest is in motivation, stress, and mental health. Okay, today, she's going to talk about sustaining students' motivation during online distance learning, challenges in research and initiatives. So this is also will be very interesting topic to be discussed today. And now let's welcome Dr. Sharifa Muslia Syed Mustafa. Time is yours.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Can you hear me well? Okay.
Okay.
And can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see and we can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to all respected audience participants, professors, lecturers, and organizers of ICES 2021. I am very honored to be invited to this distinguished conference of yours. Thank you very much to the organizer. Yeah. So without further ado, today I would like to share with you. Now I am not sure. My slide is not moving. Maybe, yeah, I will stop sharing my slide, and the organizer can please help to share my slide.
Hello, can somebody help her?
I will stop
okay. Wait a minute, ma'am.
So today I will share a little bit about my work on motivation. And I want to put forward the idea that motivation is very important for school students for students at a university, yeah, and even for us adults. Yeah, and motivation is a never-ending important aspect of our life. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so I will say next slide and next slide. Okay, so next slide, please. Today, I will highlight the importance of motivation in influencing academic achievement, especially for school students, and how important it is that we continue to conduct, yeah, motivational programs in schools especially, yeah, but however, there are lots of challenges, yeah, in conducting non-academic programs, yeah, moreover doing research on motivation. Okay, next slide. So what is motivation? Let me share with you a little bit of my story, yeah, when I was young, like million years ago. I like to watch American movies, and I fell in love with snow. Yeah, and so I saw in the movies how beautiful is this white snow, and you know, in Malaysia and in our region we don't have snow. So since I was small, like 10 or 11 years old, I set my mind to go to a country that has snow or have the four seasons. Yeah, and thus began my strategies. Yeah, of studying hard, getting good grades so that I can get the government scholarship and finally go to this country, which I decided at that time only America has snow. Yeah, I didn't know at that time, right? And Alhamdulillah, God bless. Yeah, finally I got my dream came true, and I got to study. And but that's my second wish. My first wish is I got to build my own snowman. Yeah, snowman. Okay. So with this kind of dream and inspiration, yeah, I also wish that everybody, especially our students, our young children, yeah, have set, yeah, a dream and know how to set strategies to achieve their dream, especially using the proper way, which is academic achievement. So research, yeah, have shown that motivation is a significant contributor to academic achievement, yeah, in schools or for students. And during online distance learning, yeah, what we call in counseling as developmental programs such as motivation, yeah, or career talk, yeah, is put aside because we are so busy with managing things about online learning, yeah, since the COVID-19 all over the world, yeah, especially in our region where we are not so used to online distance learning, yeah. So managing this ODL is it takes a lot of time. So we don't have time to conduct any other unimportant program, yeah. Next slide, please. So let me share with you a little bit of the assumptions, yeah, from my doctorate study, yeah. I did study on motivation, and I believe that motivation is a combination of several theories, yeah, and these are the theories that I see as important for students, yeah. But motivation only will not ensure academic achievement. There need to be another mediator between motivation and achievement, which then I put forward the theory flow. Yeah, I'm sure some of you know these theories. So let's look at motivation first. Yeah, we can talk about future time perspective, yeah, to our students, to our children. Yeah, basically is having a long-term future goal, a dream, yeah, short-term and long-term goals, which is very important to drive students to achieve something good in their life. So that is future time perspective. And and I included the theory of achievement need, yeah, which is basically the need to be successful, achieve something in your life, yeah. And because of this need to succeed and not fail, you don't want, need to succeed and not fail, yeah, yeah. So you will work hard to achieve good grades in school. Okay. And next one, expectancy value, yeah. We talk about 3 dimensions of values, values for attainment, value for interest, and value for usefulness. So here we can teach our students and our children to value success. Attainment is success, yeah. So this is like positive energy, positive vibes for children and students to look for success instead of just working enough, yeah. In bahasa we say cukup makan, yeah. A C is okay, but no, we want children and students to achieve for the higher grades, yeah, if possible A, that kind of value, yeah. A value for interest is being interested in what you do, what you want to do in life, what you want to achieve in life, yeah. So that students will become interested in studying, yeah, in school, so that they can achieve good grades. So this relates to the 3rd dimensions, which is value for usefulness of whatever we want to achieve. And here we can say, what is the use of good grades? Yeah. So we want to teach our children that good grades are important, yeah, for leading a good life in future. Okay. Next motivation theory is called learning goals, yeah, and we talk about 2 dimensions, mastery and performance learning goals, yeah. And in my structural equation modeling testing, we found that performance goal is not a significant contributor in the model, yeah, but mastery learning goal is, yes, significant contributor, which is mastery is basically learning for the sake of mastering the subject, yeah, learning for the sake of enjoying, yeah, learning something new, yeah. You may not be too put down if you get low grades, but of course you want to master the subject. So this is a better inner motivation compared to performance goal, yeah. And last but not least is self-determination. This talks about self-autonomous learning, yeah, being independent learner, yeah, being self-regulatory, where we want our students to be able to work on their own, yeah, map their own path, strategize on their own, yeah, with our support. But if we are not around, we want students to intrinsically, yeah, work for their good grades. So in this model, yeah, I found that these 5 theories, yeah, is strongly correlated with each other. So that's why it stays in one box. And we can say it's basically intrinsic motivation. Yeah? And intrinsic motivation, when you have this strong internal move to achieve something good in school, but first you need to go through the flow. What is flow? Flow is basically the state of engagement and concentration. Yeah, I'm sure all of you successful people here, yeah, lecturers, students, yeah, workers, we have experienced flow, which is like strong concentration and focus, yeah. And we sit for 5 minutes and then we look up at the clock and say, oh, it's already 1 hour past, because we have been so engrossed in what we do. So this is flow, and it's very important for students to be able to sit down and do their work, right, finish their homework, so that they will go for the achievement in grades. Yeah? So that is the basic premise of motivation. Next slide, please. So what I did when I joined the Faculty of Education is work with some friends in the Department of Education, trying to put theory into practical. How can we help students in a simple way to improve or increase their motivation? So we thought of creating some games. We call motivational games like Dam Ular. I'm sure the Indonesian people know this. The board game on motivation. We created career cards and some CD games. This was in like 1990s. So and we entered a few innovative competition and got several awards for the various games that we did. So the next step is rather than just leave it for pilot testing, like in the photos that you can see, those were our pilot testings of the products. We want to go to schools and conduct large-scale programs where we can get hundreds of students in the hall and conduct games with students so that they can benefit from the products that we create. So that was our original research plan this year. We got a grant to conduct this research, and we were all excited to proceed with the plan. But suddenly, COVID-19 happens. Okay, next slide, please. So when the pandemic began last year, the schools were closed, and schools have been closed, open and closed, open and closed, throughout these 2 years, and we could not go into schools because there were no students, and when we finally proceed with this research initiative, trying to contact teachers or counselors in school is difficult because they are not in school full time. They are working from home, the office that they work on not regular basis, right? So these are some challenges that we faced. Of course, we cannot conduct face-to-face program because there are no students in the school. Can we, our products are printed, tangible products. How can we conduct the programs virtually? So we will start then, And students have, not all students have good internet access, And in our research proposal, we had chosen a district in the state of Selangor, a district that is considered rural areas. And so this is another setback, when we want to talk about online program learning, the teachers or the counselors who we contacted, initially were not so excited about what we want to do because they say even for day-to-day classes, teaching and learning, only half of the students join online class, or even less, especially in the remote area of the district. So what more with voluntary programs or such as motivation? So they fear that there will be a low number of student participation, but we say never mind, we have to go on, because the grant is working, that the clock is ticking. Okay, next slide, please. We don't have time, there is a deadline for our grant, so we cannot wait until COVID is over, so we must proceed with data collection. So this is what happened, next slide. We contacted schools to explain our program, and amidst teachers worry about low participation and how to conduct the programs. So we discussed with them. So in the end, we have to work around the limitations, yeah. Plan for the online program. We transform the materials of the products to online games, yeah. We hired our research assistants from our students, yeah, who are good in software and they create the games, yeah. And we decided on how to give the motivational talk and conduct the games and at the same time collect data. So we have surveys and we have focus group data collection plan. Okay, next slide. So this is the example of our poster. Hey, finally, yeah, we managed to complete 4 programs in 4 different schools. Yeah, we are still continuing with the data collection and running the program. Teachers are excited and thankful to us for having this program. At least they say there are some initiative, yeah, about to take care of students' motivation. Okay, so this is the poster, and teachers post it to all students in school because they said they cannot guarantee any number of students coming in. So if we have like 10 students or 50 students, yeah, that would be really thankful, yeah, because it's on Sunday, right? So, and this is voluntary. Our initial plan of research is to study at-risk students. So teachers say, at-risk students, yeah, they are the ones who are not interested in learning. Yeah, what more with simple programs like motivation. So we had to change our focus of study from studying our targeted population at-risk students to just any students who wants to join the program. Okay, next slide. So this is an example of the program, yeah, that we discussed with the teachers. You can see that we can't spend, if we go face to face, we can conduct like 1 day program, right? Or half a day, and students can enjoy playing with all the games. But with online, even 2 hours is too long for students, yeah, but with the internet connection or with the motivation to join the program. So we decided on the short program, 1.5 hours, where we interlace motivational talk with online games to catch the students' interest, plus collecting data, pre and post survey. Okay, and we put everything on the slides and on our guidelines so that when we conduct this online program, everybody, the team will know who's in charge of what and when to do things. So it needs to be properly planned. Okay, next slide. So for example, we set up the link to games, yeah, so that the person in charge will know when I give the motivational talk, when I say, okay, let's play the game for career and workplace, yeah. So look at in your chat box and you can click there and let's play the game, and the students will play for 1 or 2 minutes and then I discuss the result and so on, yeah. So it's all mapped out clearly. Next slide. Some example of the topics that I focus on. Yeah, I am the speaker for the motivational talk. Yeah, topic 1 is about creating great dreams in your life. So I shared with them the story of my wanting to play snow in America. So they kind of love it. Yeah, and from dreams, topic 2. How important it is for students to have ambition. Yeah, so we all remembered when we were small, yeah, our parents asked, what you want to be when you grow up, yeah. So it sounds so simple and so small, but I think it's a very important activities and discussion that we can conduct with our children, yeah, what you want to be when you grow up, because this is part of achievement need, future time perspective, yeah, basics. And then topic 3, after you have the dream, you have the ambition, what are your strategies to achieve motivation? And we can talk about tailor it to your school examinations, yes, steps from primary school to secondary schools to university, so that students learn this is what
I'm
they
sorry, Dr. Sarifa, to disturb you. Time is 3 minutes to go.
Okay, all right. Okay, time is too short, yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, we talk about
Let us say 5 minutes. 5 minutes
oh,
to
5
go.
minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, motivation, yeah. So this is my talk, and then we proceed to next slide. Yeah, this is an example of the online games that our research assistants create, yeah. And then next slide. Okay, the result, yeah. So as you can see, yeah, from the 4 schools where we should have like 1,000 over students, yeah, only 104 students, yeah, join, yeah, from school A, B, C, and D. So very low rate of participation, but what to do, yeah, and most of them are in the year form 4 and 5, yeah, nearing to university, but a few from the earlier of form 13, 14, and 15 years old. And most of them, as I said, is from B40, 64% is from the lower socio-economic status family. Yeah. Okay, next slide. We did a pre-survey and post-survey on motivation, and you can see, although there is no significant difference before and after the 1 hour program, yeah, but the differences is very small, yeah, 23 to 22. So it's a slight reduce, but no significant difference. And that 23 and 22 is still a high level of motivation. So I said this is a limitation. Students who join the program are motivated students, yeah, not the low performers. Okay, next slide. We also have the second data, perception about their own motivation. Now this we have found significant difference here, slight increase from before and after attending the program, where basically they feel more motivated after listening to the talk and playing with the games, online games. And last but not least, our third data, next slide, is feedback about the program. So I like this very much, yeah, because students, you can see only 31 from 104 students responded to our survey Google form, yeah. And teachers, we have 3 teachers responding to our feedback form. Do you enjoy the program? Did you learn something new? And do you feel more motivated after the program? Everybody said yes. So that is a good motivation for us, yeah, to proceed. Next slide. And the teachers, yeah, say the program is good. They are happy that students who join seems to be excited about it, and they think that such program can help students to increase their motivation. Yeah. Okay. Next slide. So this is some lessons, yeah, that we learned from doing research online. Yeah. Cooperation from schools during COVID-19 or online learning is quite challenging, yeah, because teachers are again focusing on learning, yeah, research or non-academic programs are put aside or neglected maybe, yeah. Length of program, as I said, we cannot spend do online program for 1 day, yeah, even half a day is a no-no, yeah. Teachers say, oh, students cannot maintain or join an online program for like 4 hours straight, yeah. So we can only do it for 1.5 hours. The online program, so is it effective? Adequate? Of course, it's not, yeah. But what to do? This is our limitation. As with internet access, especially conducting program with students in remote areas of the country, yeah. participation, we cannot force students to join, yeah, if they don't want to join, but whoever, yeah, I always say if we cannot teach 10 people, even one is okay, yeah, alhamdulillah. And of course, we talk about the validity of data, yeah. Students are maybe not honest or not, yeah, honest with answering, especially with online. Yeah, as you can see, we lost a lot of data from those who did not respond to our surveys and feedback form. Okay, next slide. That's it. Yeah. So sometimes we cannot wait. Yeah. For COVID to stop, of course we cannot wait. Yeah. So we just do it, and alhamdulillah, the team feel that it is an honor contribution. Yeah. To a small contribution to schools and children. Yeah. Those are two examples of the online Google Meet that we did with two schools. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so that's my sharing for today.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sarifa. It's a great presentation. So before our second invited speaker, we talk about technology in learning. Now we are going to discuss about student psychology and also motivation, yeah, during online classes. Okay, from what has been presented by Dr. Sarifa, I can draw some conclusions. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the first conclusion is that student self-motivation has a significant increase or increased significantly, yeah, during online learning, yeah, online distance learning. So that is the first conclusion. The second is the second conclusions, whether it is in online or offline learning, teachers of course should give positive feedback to students. So the students will feel encouraged, yeah, and also support by the teacher, and it can boost the students' academic motivation. So that is the conclusion. So Dr. Sarifa, some questions are asked by the forum. Let me read it for you. The first is, what is the difference? This is from Ibu Ermida Sitorus. What is the difference in assessment between online sustaining online learning, yeah, and okay, wait. What is the different assessment from sustaining students' motivation learning during online and offline? Yeah, and are you going to answer it directly, or should I read you the next question?
Can I answer it now?
Okay, right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can use the same assessment like survey or motivational score, yeah, or observation. But again, as you can see from our research experience, we need to think about how to transform from the printed material to online form. Yeah. For example, if we do it face to face in classroom or in the hall, we can print our surveys and make sure that everybody answers, give them more time to honestly think about their answers and so on. Yeah. But with online, time is short. Yeah, like now, time is short, and we have to shorten our survey. We have to shorten our activities, so there are many limitations. But we still try to do our best. So that is a quick answer, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, of course. It did. It fits to the question. So let's go to next question, Dr. Sariva. It is said that nowadays schools and also higher education got difficulties in cultivating a research cultures, yeah, and even schools in Indonesia, the teachers are not assigned to make to do a research. Actually, it's done commonly at university. So it makes why does it happen? Because of we get lack of literacy actually. So how do the Malaysian government and also Malaysian people make efforts to spread literacy culture? This is from Mr. Gufron from UHAMKA.
Literacy, you mean the reading skill and so on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the difficulty of doing a program face-to-face or learning program when we expect that our students can read and get involved in our programs. So I think this is what we need to think about, yeah. The ideal or the ideal of technology is, hey, everybody can do online learning, online distance learning is the best, yeah. Everybody can access technology and so on. But when COVID-19 happened, we realized that many students are at disadvantage, yeah, because of the poor internet access, yeah. Low-income family don't have enough gadgets. And especially children, not all parents are literate themselves, yeah, and motivated to guide their students for online learning. I see that it takes a lot of effort from the parents to organize and oversee their students doing online class, right? Yeah, I don't have young children anymore, but I see my young colleagues, yeah, with young children. So at the end of the day, I personally feel that face-to-face schooling and education is the best. Yeah? And yeah, we need to hope that COVID really go away so that we can go back to schools and universities and we can tackle the literacy issues, yeah, quickly. I mean, it's a long debate of how we can do it, but yeah, we need to do it if especially online learning is continuing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sariva. And still we have more questions here. Next is there any relationship between academic loss and students' motivation? This question is from Ibu Eka.
Okay, I think academic loss and motivation. Okay, yeah, there is a relationship, yeah, and I can see, as I said in the beginning, studies have shown there is a significant relationship between motivation and academic achievement. And even in my experience with counseling students, yeah, at the university, when students are feeling down because they are bogged down by these online classes, assignments, they cannot meet their friends, yeah, and lecturers give all kinds of activities, and they have to think about this gadget and that gadget and so on, yeah. So they feel demotivated, yeah, stressed out, and the ones who managed to contact me talk about how they wish they can go back to face-to-face, yeah, because they feel that being surrounded by lecturers and peers and being on campus will help their motivation better. Yeah? And another thing I want to say that at home, we found out that when students learn from home, the family contributes a lot to the motivation of students, yeah, especially families with parents who are not happy, yeah, a family with conflicts, yeah, expectations of you being at home, you must do this, house chores, cooking, help mom, and so on. So this is part of the things that contribute to students' low motivation during online learning. So it's a lot of burden for the children, yeah, learning from home, especially if the home is not conducive. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sharifah. And one more interesting question, please. This is from Ibu Dwi Sulisworo from Ahmad Dahlan University. What is your strategy to enhance the students' involvement during online?
Okay, student involvement, yeah, it comes from partly from the lecturers or professors' personality, yeah, encouragement, yeah, show of care for their students, yeah, even on through the lens of our laptop, students can see if we are caring about them, ask them simple questions, how they are doing okay, yeah, and always offer assistance if anybody needs help to talk about something or having issues with your assignments, yeah, please feel free to contact me or text me. Yeah, so create the opportunity for them to seek help. Yeah, for instance, one of our initiative also was to design and create a counseling blog. Yeah, where before we did not think anything about students doing counseling because they can come to my office or my friend's office or the unit of counseling at the university. But from home, where can they get help? So another innovation that we did, yeah, me and my team, is to create a counseling blog and promote it to students so that students feel, oh, the faculty care. Yeah? And our next project is to really conduct the peers program, yeah, so that friends can become helpers to their friends in need. So we need to think about various strategies to get our students involved in class and also to help students who are in need, especially for their mental health. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Dr. Sharifah, for the brightening responses to all of the questions. And finally, I get to say that time is the king, so we don't have the whole days. So we get to start this discussion. And thank you for your time and effort to brighten us about today's topic that you have presented. And for all of the forums, if you still have questions, then you can type in the chat room. The committee will deliver it to Dr. Sharifah to be responded. Please give us your time, Ibu Dr. Sharifah.
Yes, sure. Yeah. If I can help with any questions, go ahead and ask.
Okay.
Thank you so much to the organizer.
Sure. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in our next conferences. Thank you very much, and everybody give applause, please, to Ibu Dr. Sharifah, our second invited speaker. See you. Right. Everybody, thank you for still being with us. Today we are going to have our third invited speaker to present her topics. And because she's here with me, okay, she's here with me now, and everybody will see it. Welcome, Ibu Professor Dr. Marina Silalahi. Give applause, please, to our third presenters. Okay, let me read her short bio. Our third invited speaker, Professor Dr. Marina, okay, is actually a lecturer at Christian University of Indonesia at Biological Education Department. And please give applause because she just got her professorship. Okay, right, okay. Professor Marina was graduated from Indonesian University from Biological Department for her doctoral program, and for her master degree, still the same department, that is from biology. Okay, she took it at Bandung Technology Institute, and her bachelor degree was from State University of Medan, commonly called IKIP Medan, yeah? Okay, from Education Biology Department. And she had published a lot of journals, a lot of papers. They are at Indexed Scopus Journal, yeah, Scopus Indexed Journal and Was Indexed Journal. I'm not going to read all of her publication because I need a whole day. Yeah, I need a whole day to read this also. I'm not going to read those achievements. Okay, besides writing at international indexed journals, she also has many publications at national accredited journals, and she has written also many books, yeah, and proceedings and book chapter, yeah. She got a lot of experiences, and now she is the head of Biological Education Department at Christian University of Indonesia. And today, she is going to talk about the study of Indonesian ethnomedicine and its research method. So, let us welcome Professor Dr. Marina Silalahi, MSc.
Thank you, Mr. Lamhot. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am very delighted to see you all. Thank you for coming to this presentation. Today, I will show you my presentation about Indonesian ethnomedicine and its research method. The first, I will explain the ethnomedicine. Ethnomedicines come from the word ethno, it means ethnic, and medicine, it means drugs. Therefore, it is related to things, namely ethnicity and medicine. Ethnomedicine is a perception and conception of ethnicity or local community to understanding health or the study of traditional ethnic medical system. Ethnomedicine study was conducted to understand health culture from the community view or emic, and then scientifically proven or ethic. Initially, ethnomedicine research was part of the health anthropology, but later it was part of biology science, especially bioconservation. The first picture show the number of ethnomedicine research articles conducted by anthropologists and botanists. The vertical line show number of articles, and the horizontal line show the years of publication. Documentation of useful plant in Indonesia, especially medicine plant, has been carried out 400 years ago both partial and systematical. This figure 2 show the reliefs of medicine plant in Borobudur Temple and the other temples in Java Island. The partial documentation such as relief of plant at the Borobudur Temple and the other temple in Java Island, design and manuscript such as Lontar Husada, Serat Sentini, Jampi-Jampi Jawi. Those manuscripts explain recipes for medicine plant to treat various diseases. Systematic documentation of medicine plant has been carried out by Dutch scientists during the Dutch colonial period in Indonesia, such as Georgius Rumphius documenting the Herbarium Ambonense. The second, Karel Heine, was writing the book The Nightingale Planten Pan Indonesia, and the third, GMC Kloppenberg Versteeg, wrote the Indice Planten per Haar genus crop. This picture the G.E. Rumphius, and the middle is Karel Heine, and right side is Kloppenberg. Although ethnomedicine research has been carried out in Indonesia for a long time, but it is an scientific study since 1980s, followed by construction of Ethnobotany Museum in Bogor in 1983. Several Indonesian scientists who have consistently developed ethnobotany and ethnomedicine, such as Professor Eko Baroto, Professor Ervijal Juhud, and Professor Johannes Purwanto. Walujo reported the data ethnobotany and ethnomedicine Indonesia is concentrated on the Java and Bali Island. Now, ethnomedicine research is mostly aimed at discovering new chemical compounds as drugs to cure dangerous diseases such as cancer. The third picture shows the map ethnobotany and ethnomedicine research conducted by Indonesian Institute of Science or LIPI. This is ethnomedicine research I have done. The first local knowledge of medicine plant in Batak, Simalungun of North Sumatra, Indonesia. This research was published in Biodiversity Journal. Based on the result of this research, it was found 239 species belonging 170 genera and 70 families of medicine plant were used to cure 90 kinds of natural disease and 2 kinds of supranatural disease. It see the younger generation have lost their knowledge in the medicine plant because their knowledge of medicine plant was lower than the other older generation, while Kai Informate had the highest knowledge of medicine plant among respondents. And the first table shows the number of medicine plant species used to cure disease in Batak Simalungun of North Sumatra. The left column shows the characteristic disease known by Batak Simalungun, such as natural disease, supranatural. And the middle column shows the name of disease known by Batak Simalungun. And the right column shows the number of species have been used by Batak Simalungun to cure some disease. For example, 15 species to cure hypertension. The second, the local knowledge of medicine plant trade and diversity of medicine plant in Kabanjahe traditional market, North Sumatra, Indonesia. This research was published in Journal of Ethnopharmacology. Market is main place for transaction of medicine plant and traditional ingredient by local community in Karo Regency, North Sumatra. We record 344 species belonging to 170 genera and 90 families of medicine plant. Asclepiaceae by trader was used to treat disease like cancer and heart problem. Discidia imbricata, Discidia numularia, Hoya macrophylla, and Hoya coriaceae have been used for cancer treatment by local communities, but pharmacology unknown, hence they are promising candidate for future investigation. Pictures 4 show the systematical arrange of medicine plant in Kabanjahe traditional market stall. A show the store view vertical. B show the site of store front or main room. A D variety of leaves. R rutaceae and Z gingiberaceae. The tip my research is ethnobotanical study of traditional stem bathing by Batak people of North Sumatra, Indonesia. This research was published in Pacific Conservation Biology. The basic principle of stem bathing by Batak people is based on thermotherapy and aromatherapy. A total 59 species belonging to 37 genera and 25 families has been documented as medicine plant for the use as stem bathing material by Batak people. The trader, midwives, and mother all are aware of the benefit of stem bathing. Gaultheria leucocarpa and Cinnamomum porrectum, the species that produce distinct aromas and reduce pain, will be interesting to study for their phytochemical and pharmacological properties. Table 2 show the benefit of stem bathing according to Batak people in North Sumatra, and the left column show the medicine benefit by respondents such as restoring stamina, improving blood circulation, increasing breast milk production. And the right side show the number of respondents consists of trader of medicine plant, midwives, and mother. This figure show the stem bathing material in left side and the stall and trade of medicine plant in Kabanjahe traditional market in right side. The part my study is gastronomic ethnobiology of Therites, a traditional Batak Karo medicinal fruit. A ruminant stomach content as human food resource. A total of 29 plant species belonging to 70 families were used to prepare Therites. The main rationale behind consume the indigenous food what is received medicine value, particularly to treatment of digestive disorder. Karo people use several lesser known well food plant for preparation of this local specialty. The best our knowledge consumption of thyme in tropical Asia is so far unique solely to Batak Karo. This extraordinary food heritage of Karo indigenous gastronomy based on traditional knowledge indicates rice foodscape and bioculture diversity of Batak Karo ethnic group. Table 3 show the informant consensus on most commonly used wild edible plant, and the left column show the scientific name of wild plant such as Bischofia japonica or Indonesia language known as Sinkam, Aleurotus molucanus known as Kemiri. and the middle column show the number informant, and the right column show the presentasi informant who know the wild edible plant. And figure 5 show the heritage soups as local as indigenous food from Batak Karo. My research is edible plant of Batak Karo of Merdeka District, North Sumatra, Indonesia was published in Ethnobotany Research and Application. A total of 53 food plants belonging to 25 families were documented. 30% of the collection species are wild and used for food. Several of these edible plants are also referred to medicine plant for local people, so they could be classified as food medicine. Begonia laureli, Medinelia speciosa, Debregesia longifoli, Xanthophyllum acanthophodium, and Eugonia polyantha need to be evaluated as potential crop. The importance some of these plants as wild crop must be outlined since they are of genetic resource to establish diversity plant. This figure shows the food category and number of plants used as food by Batak Karo tribe in North Sumatra. The second hour explain the method of medicine plant. Ethnomedicine data collection method are grouped two, namely A, the market survey. Market, especially tradition market for the community, function as place for buying and selling transaction, exchanging information and benefit plan and livelihood. In addition, the market can so refer to benefit of plant through market survey as well as the conservation status and develop plan of medicine plant. The traditional market that is used, the research location is a market that trade medicine plant so that it can say describe culture or wisdom locals or ethnic. Respondent are all or some trader of medicine plant depending on their research objective. Respondents were determined by purposive or snowball sampling. Several things were asked to traders such as local name, part usage, benefit, method of use, source of equation, inventory, market demand. Specimen voucher is made for scientific name identification. An ethnobotany study on traditional stem bedding by Batak people on North Sumatra, Indonesia. Informant consisted of 9 traders of medicine plant, 9 midwives, and 32 mothers. The informant in local communication survey were the mother who had taken stem bed, and they were selected with purposive sampling method. Purposive sampling is a technique of determining informant based on criteria set by researchers. In this case, the criteria used were informant who knew the ingredient and processing of stem bedding. Snowball sampling is a technique of determining informant who have been recommended by previous informant. All the traders of medicine plant in Kabanjahe and traditional market were decided respondent, while midwives and mother were selected with purposive snowball sampling method. Consists 16 informant in Kabantua village and 60 informant in Tanjung Julu village. B. Village survey, mostly used by medicine research, especially homogeneous villages that still use medicine plant in their daily life. However, it can be done in heterogeneous village or city, but ethnic focus depend on the research objective. Survey data collection, interview, and participatory observation. Researchers have local knowledge, skill, and culture knowledge. Respondents in this study were divided into general respondent and key informant. Respondents were determined by purposive and snowball sampling. In the research gastronomy, ethnobotany of Therites, a traditional Batakaro medicinal fruit, a ruminant stomach contain a human food ratios. Use informant for the study was collected through questionnaire and semi-structured interview and general conversation from herbalists, village elder, and farmer. The interview was carried out with held 29 informal consists 7 informant from Semangat Gunung, 3 informant from Jaramuda, 2 informant in Merdeka, and 9 informant from Lingga village. The head of the village was used as key informant who could provide information and how many people know about Therites. The informant were caused based on traditional ecologist knowledge, professional activity, and age. Each informant was interviewed individually in Batak Karo language. Informant were asked to provide a list of ingredients used to prepare Therites, the local names, all the plant use of plant part use, and mode of preparation Therites were then collected under the guidance of whoever gave in information about preparing of Therites. The plant use include not only wild species but also cultivated plants that had been taken from forests and planted in garden or agricultural field. The specimens were identified and deposited in Herbarium of Universitas Indonesia. Scientific name of plant species were verified using the plant list online source. Conclusion: ethnomedicine is study of local people, perception and conception in understanding health, which is carried out to understand health culture from commodity point of view or aiming their scientifically proven or ethic. In Indonesia, ethnomedicine research has been carried out since the Dutch colonial, but a scientific study began to be developed since 1983. The Karo and Simalungun Bata ethnic group in North Sumatra have been used medicine plant to maintain their health. The medicine plant trader in Kabanjaya and Brastagi traditional market have local wisdom in composing, arranging, and managing their stalls so that they are similar to herbarium. Data collection method be used to ethnomedicine research are market and village survey. The results of informant or respondent consist the key informant and general respondent who were determined by both purposive and snowball sampling. Ethnomedicine research in Indonesia must be improved so that the degradation of local wisdom, especially the use plant, be suppressed. This is a reference. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Marina, for a very clear explanation about the ethnomedicine, yeah? Okay, still I can say that this is also a very interesting topic because we are given an insight about ethnomedicine. So by getting the knowledge about the ethnomedicines, of course, you do not need to go to the hospitals anymore. If you got flu, then you can just use the plants to cure your flu, yeah? Okay, right. So that's why I say that this is very interesting to talk. Okay, Professor Dr. Marina, we got some questions, and those questions are very interesting also. Okay, but later you can answer in Bahasa Indonesia because we have an interpreter, and Ibu Sari, ya, and she's going to interpret it into English. As soon as you talk in Bahasa, you give the responses to these questions. Okay, it says here, how do you integrate the result of ethnobotany research into learning?
Thank you, Mr. Lamha. I'm sorry, I will answer the question in Bahasa. Please, Ma'am Sari, translate to English. Dalam penelitian, bagaimana saya mengintegrasikan hasil penelitian saya ke dalam pembelajaran. Kira-kira seperti itu, ya.
Yes.
Nah, jadi kami mengacu kepada visi Prodi Pendidikan Biologi, yaitu leading di bidang penelitian khususnya keanekaragaman hayati dan lingkungan. Dan lebih kami fokuskan lagi itu terutama ke kearifan lokal. Jadi bahan-bahan penelitian yang telah kami lakukan itu menjadi contoh-contoh yang digunakan dalam pembelajaran. Misalnya ketika saya mengajarkan tumbuhan paku yang ada di buku-buku itu karena pengarangnya sebagian besar dari luar adalah tanaman-tanaman yang ada di sana. Lalu ketika saya membuat itu jadi bahan ajar, saya menggunakan contoh-contoh tumbuhan yang ada di Indonesia khususnya Sumatera seperti misalnya paku ekor kuda, paku tanduk rusa, itu menjadi contoh-contoh dan sekaligus juga dalam skripsi juga jika ada yang mengambil etnobotani atau etnomedicine, ada tujuan ketiga yaitu tujuan bagaimana mengintegrasikan dari penelitian mahasiswa menjadi bahan ajar di SMA. Seperti itu, Pak.
Very
Terima
interesting. Kasih. Ada lagi? Okay, thank you very much, Professor Marina. And next question, but I don't know the name. Could you explain one of traditional plants that can cure high blood pressure, ya, darah tinggi, ya, like jamu, okay, that you have known from your research?
Nah, jadi berdasarkan penelitian kami, mungkin terutama yang di Batak, daerah Sumatera, tumbuhan yang digunakan untuk mengatasi hipertensi itu biasanya tidak jauh berbeda dengan untuk mengatasi gangguan ginjal.
Okay.
Jadi dari karakteristiknya saya lihat misalnya seperti kaca beling, kemudian juga ada daun bambu, itu biasanya ada kumis kucing, itu biasanya struktur dari daunnya itu ada seperti kasar-kasar, tapi pada prinsipnya saya tidak sampai meneliti apakah kandungan senyawa yang pada tanaman tersebut, tetapi berdasarkan literatur studi yang saya lakukan bahwa senyawa-senyawa tersebut biasanya atau tumbuhan tersebut biasanya menghasilkan senyawa yang mengakibatkan pembuluh darah itu menjadi melebar atau vasorelaksasi atau menghasilkan senyawa yang kalau nggak salah menghambat kerja asetilkosterase seperti itu, Pak Lamhot. Jadi mereka itu biasanya juga secara kearifan lokal biasanya tanaman-tanaman yang digunakan dalam memasak daging itu pada umumnya memiliki efek dua pada umumnya, kalau enggak hipertensi, kolesterol. Jadi untuk memasak daging biasanya efeknya seperti itu.
Okay, that's very interesting. So Could you mention once again the name of the plants? Kumis kucing.
Kumis kucing, kecebeling, bambu ada tertentu. Kemudian kalau yang udah banyak digunakan sih udah kamu semua tahu, ada seperti apa itu bawang putih. Tapi yang saya sehari-hari kebetulan sejak tahun lalu saya ada hipertensi. Jadi sehari dalam setiap bukan dalam 2 hari sekali saya pasti konsumsi daun kumis kucing, dan rasanya memang tidak jauh berbeda dengan teh yang kita kenal sehari-hari, sehingga dia juga dikenakan sebagai kumis kucing itu Java tea. Jadi itu memang sudah banyak penelitian membuktikan bahwa kumis kucing berhasil menurunkan hipertensi dan toksisitasnya sangat rendah. Kalau dibandingkan secara review literatur antara kumis kucing dengan kecebeling, toksisitas kecebeling jauh lebih tinggi dibandingkan dengan kumis kucing.
Okay, I think this is a new information. So you just need to change the tea leaf, yeah, with kumis kucing. Itu tadi ya?
Iya, Java tea.
Iya, we need to change it. So when you drink tea in the morning, then you can use kumis kucing. Alright. Okay, further questions, Professor. In your opinion, this is from Ibu Dewi Sulisworo. In your opinion, what is the possibility of the local or traditional medicine to enter the global market? What is the most constraint or barrier? Thank you.
Iya, terima kasih. Mungkin kita berkaca kepada pengalaman China dengan India yang mengintegrasikan antara kearifan lokal dengan studi dan pengobatan di rumah sakit. Nah, di Indonesia sebenarnya kalau dibandingkan India dengan Cina, kearifan lokal kita jauh lebih banyak dibandingkan mereka. Namun integrasi antara kearifan lokal dengan penelitian di perguruan tinggi itu sepertinya jalannya belum harmonis. Jadi kebanyakan di Indonesia secara akademik atau banyak dokter Indonesia kurang merekomendasikan pengobatan internasional, pengobatan tradisional. Padahal sebenarnya itu sudah banyak bukti empiriknya. Namun banyak hal mungkin yang harus kita benahi. Misalnya pasti kalau dari segi kedokteran safety-nya, penelitiannya, sampai bioessay-nya, sampai uji klinik dan prakliniknya. Di sisi lain juga mungkin kita harus perbaiki packaging-nya. Namun ada beberapa saya lihat minuman-minuman tradisional sudah menjadi welcome drink di beberapa hotel. Misalnya seperti bir peletok, kemudian beras kencur. Juga mungkin yang harus diteliti itu juga adalah bagaimana cara penyajiannya itu lebih praktis. Jadi misalnya kayak kita pakai masker, misalnya itu untuk banyak dipakai untuk pemutih. Misalnya orang yang pakai itu tidak kotor semuanya. Mungkin bisa dikembangkan seperti maskernya yang Korea itu, yang seperti kayak kain terus bisa ditarik. Mungkin jadi banyak inovasi-inovasi lagi dalam pengembangan obat tradisional kita. Tapi kalau kekayaan kita memang nggak ada bandingnya. Cuman integrasinya itu siapa yang menjadi yang berani. Waktu saya orasi ilmiah pernah juga saya ungkapkan, apakah UKI mau jadi pelopor pengintegrasian antara kearifan lokal dengan pengobatan modern. Kebetulan di UKI ada biologi, ada fisika, ada teknik, ada kedokteran, ada keperawatan. Jadi sangat memungkinkan menurut saya untuk pengembangan di UKI. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. And we still have another interesting questions. It is, did the ethnomedicine will be able to develop into modern medicines? This question is from Mr. James Papahan. So from traditional into modern medicine, is it possible?
Oh, itu sangat saya jawab. Pengembangan obat tradisional, pengembangan obat modern 80% itu didasarkan pengobatan tradisional.
Okay.
Nah, namun dalam misalnya asam salisit sebagai antipiretik itu dikembangkan dari kebudayaan kalau nggak salah Inka, dan karena namun itu dibuat menjadi senyawa murni. Padahal sebenarnya ketika kita menggunakan satu jenis tumbuhan, di situ banyak senyawa yang kerjanya itu saling komplementer. Sehingga ketika kita membuat satu senyawa sebagai misalnya obat hipertensi, nanti yang mereduksi kembali atau untuk degradasi senyawanya itu menjadi dikeluarkan dari tubuh, mungkin dibutuhkan lagi obat yang lain seperti itu. Tapi ketika kita menggunakan suatu obat tradisional, biasanya yang kita kenal misalnya seperti kunyit asam ya. Kenapa sih kalau kunyit itu harus dikasih asam? Karena memang kunyit nggak bisa larut di dalam air, sehingga untuk melarutkan itu perlu dikasih asam. Karena itu memang dikembangkan dari kearifan-kearifan lokal, udah lama teruji, bukan ratusan bahkan ribuan tahun. Terima kasih Pak Lamot.
Okay, so do you suggest to people to better use the herbal or ethnomedicine rather than the medicine given by the doctor?
Saya mungkin yang rekomendasikan itu adalah obat-obat yang atau tanaman-tanaman yang telah sejak dahulu digunakan oleh nenek moyang kita. Tetapi kita sering seperti ini, misalnya daun sirsak. Tiba-tiba dibilang orang daun sirsak itu untuk obat kanker, padahal itu tidak dikembangkan dari kearifan lokal. Kenapa kita harus mengembangkan dari kearifan lokal? Karena secara empirik telah terbukti sejak ratusan tahun paling tidak toksik.
Oke.
Nah, sedangkan kalau yang baru diperkenalkan bagaimana toksisitasnya, terutama toksisitasnya itu belum teruji. Mungkin seperti itu, Pak.
Right. So thank you for a brightening explanation. And this will be the last but not least question. And this is very important to the right now situation. The question is, can you recommend traditional medicine for COVID-19?
Terima kasih. Jadi saya juga pernah membahas ini. Jadi untuk COVID-19 dari kearifan lokal Indonesia adalah tumbuhan yang secara tradisional digunakan untuk mengatasi flu atau batuk. Yang banyak atau yang kedua adalah secara tradisional misalnya untuk meningkatkan nafsu makan.
Oke.
Nah, jadi yang pernah saya pelajari banyak itu adalah terutama sambiroto, terutama andrograpolitnya, memang itu dan suami saya kebetulan sudah mencoba di rumah ketika dia pilek flu itu dipakai memang langsung manjur seperti itu. Jadi itu sih yang meningkatkan ketahanan tubuh sama yang untuk batuk dan pilek kemungkinan besar itu untuk COVID-19. Dan salah satu yang banyak dikembangkan sekarang itu adalah Andrographis paniculata atau sambiroto. Terima kasih.
Okay, right. So my last questions. Professor, when you are sick, do you still go to the doctor, to the hospital?
Jadi saya mungkin untuk mengecek kesehatan pasti saya ke dokter. Tapi untuk pemeliharaan kesehatan saya mengkombinkan dengan kearifan lokal. Jadi saya di rumah ada tanaman sambiroto, kembang telang, kumis kucing. Ketiga tanaman ini ganti-gantian setiap hari saya konsumsi. Tetapi saya nggak mau naik juga, saya akan cek misalnya bagaimana laju pacu jantung, bagaimana tekanan darah seperti itu. Pasti saya ke dokter.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Finally, time is over and we have to stop the discussion. Still, I can see that there are a lot of questions in the chat room. Then, Professor, please be so kind to have your time with the questions later on. The committee will text it to you. Okay, everybody, and now it's the time for me to end my session as a moderator. Then please give applause to Professor Marina Silalahi. Okay, everybody, I give the time belongs to Ibu Asri, the master of today's ceremony. Thank you very much. See you again in the next conferences. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for the wonderful and inspiring session with the invited speakers and moderator. We believe this session will be beneficial for our knowledge as well as our practices. And thank you for those who have actively participated by asking some questions and giving some comments in our online website as well as in the Zoom. So please, let's give a round of applause to all of us here. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we will have a break time. But first, before we have the break time, please allow me to share some parallel session information. This parallel session will be held from 1 to 4 p.m. in 5 breakout rooms, led by each moderator in our breakout session. All presenters have to upload the presentation files in the link given by the committee. All presenters have to rename the account by using letter of acceptance code. All presenters and participants have to use the third ICES 2021 virtual background, and please join the breakout room which has been set by the committee for each of you by using the given Zoom link, meeting ID and passcode. Information and closing activity of day 1 of ICES will be held in the breakout room with each moderator at parallel session. So there will be no other activity in this main room. The second day of ICES 2021 tomorrow will be started at 8:15 a.m. for the registration process, continued by the parallel session. So please join day 2 of ICES tomorrow by using the given Zoom link, meeting ID, and the passcode for parallel session, and then go back to the main room after the parallel session. Now, please enjoy your break time and see you in this main room tomorrow after today's parallel session. Have a nice day and have a great presentation. May God bless all of us. Thank you.
Oke, Zoom-nya close.
Zoom-nya close.
Oke. Ya, baik, terima kasih Bapak Ibu sekalian. Sesi 1 sudah selesai. Jadi kita bisa